Hi everyone, Dr. Paul Brumett with Hero Braces. Today I wanted to show some examples of carpal and tarsal castings, and we'll start out with a carpal casting, and this is an example of what we're looking for. So we've got 2 to 3 layers of material. You wrap up and down just like you do with the stifle brace. We want to make sure that we include the point of the elbow and that we go all the way down to the ends of the toes. And then we're going to place that limb in a natural standing position. So we've got a number of joints here that can move in different directions. And so we want to make sure they're in a natural standing position with as little varus or valgus deformity or curvature through here, as well as the foot in a natural standing position. And if I'm doing a left front limb, I'll typically take my right hand and put my pinky finger right at the top of the toes and apply pressure under the foot. And we're going to do this while the casting material is still wet and setting up. And then I can apply some pressure and get that foot to curve up into its normal position. Now I'm holding that as this is setting, and I'm looking at it from the side. I'm looking at it from the front. And so I actually bend over and look at that. And then I look at from the back, and then I'll have the veterinary nurses also look at it with me and make sure that we've got it in proper alignment. So that's an example of what we're looking for. And then here is an extreme example of something that becomes difficult for us to work with. The cast itself is decent. We can see all the bony landmarks. It's actually fairly well aligned. But there's no bend in that foot at all. And so we're going to have to use a lot of technique to try to get this into the right position. And chances are we're going to have to do maybe some rechecks and change the fit of that brace a little bit, because we don't really know what the natural standing angle is for that dog. Here's another one. You can see it went up to the elbow, which is great. The wrap is nice. I can see all of the bony landmarks. But if you look at it from the front, and we always put the cutting strip down the front, you can see that it's kind of doing this. And that may be what this dog, that's the best that we can do for this dog. And if that's what we're dealing with, then we'll run with that. But many times we're creating a little valgus or varus deformity. And what a lot of times happens is the dog is laying in lateral recumbency. As we apply pressure to hold the foot, we also are applying pressure up in this direction. And so we're actually torquing the carpus and creating a little bit of a valgus deformity. So make sure you check while it's setting, and look at it from the front and the back and the side. Have one of the veterinary nurses look at it for you, or one of the other veterinary nurses if one of the vet nurses is doing this, and make sure that everything is aligned the way that you want it. Let's look at a Tarsus real quick. So here is a good example of what the Tarsus casting should look like. And the concepts are similar. We run the strip down the front. We want to make sure the material goes all the way down to the ends of the toes. We want the foot in a natural standing position. We want to make sure that we have the angle in the ankle that the practitioner wants. And then we also want to go all the way up to the tibial crest, which is right up in here. If it's too short, like this example, where they did a nice casting, they could have bent the foot just a little bit more, but they only went up probably about half the height of the tibia. And we really want to see that tibial crest. So in this case, if they would have come up probably another 2 to 3 inches, and that takes out all the guesswork. And remember, the better the cast, the less professional artistry we need to have to kind of guess or guesswork in the lab. And so you'll get a better product at the end of that. And just remember, the better the cast, the better the fit. So back to the one that we like. You can also see that everything is lined up straight. So here again, the casting material is still wet. This is a If this were a left rear leg, I would have my fingers like this. And while it's setting up, I'm actually putting the foot into a normal standing position. And then I'm checking all of these. And I've even been known to get out my goniometer and measure this to make sure that it's the angle that I want, and that and if I'm working with a surgeon, that the surgeon wants. And then we'll also look at it from the front. So the dog's laying in lateral recumbency. I'm looking at it from the side. And so I'm going to looking at it from this side, and then I'll bend over and look at it from the front and the rear. And we just want to make sure that it sets up in that in the position that we want. So let me show you a couple of examples. We already talked about the one that was too short, didn't go up to the top of the tibial crest. Here's another. We could work with this one, but I would like to see a little bit better standing angle in the foot. Did come down to the ends of the toes, so that's good. Here's another that was done. Lots, we can see all the bony prominences. That's really good. It went up to the tibial crest. You can see how if I kind of use my fingers to measure, how the metatarsals and the tibia have a similar length. And so we know, just from looking at that, I know that's the right length. And then it's lined up nice and straight. So just a little more bend in that paw, and we would have been in good shape. Okay, so let me show you these. Here's our example of our carpal that we like. And then here's our example of our tarsal casting that we like. If you have questions, please reach out. hello@goherogo.com. You can also go to our website, and we have other instructional videos so that we can help you with any questions that you have.